I used to be such a sound sleeper. I'd close my eyes, rest my head on the pillow, and when I opened my eyes again a second later, it'd be lights out. That's how it used to be, at least. A week ago, as I was about to get into bed, I heard a loud noise from downstairs. When I went down to investigate, I found one of the living room windows wide open and the lamp next to the table next to it, lying on the floor. I sighed loudly and shut the window tight. I got a dustpan and a brush, cleaned up most of what was left on the lamp and threw it on the trash. I was exhausted by this point, so I groggily walked up to the stairs, into my bedroom, and into the bed. The warmth of the bed was comforting. I was completely relaxed. That's why I was so curious as to why I couldn't fall asleep. As I said before, I was a sound sleeper. I never had trouble sleeping, especially when I was tired and wanted to sleep. So what was eating at me in the back of my mind, keeping me awake? That was when the hairs on the back of my neck stood on end and a terrifying shiver went down my spine.
Are you awake?
Are you awake? A quiet voice whispered in my ear. I froze. Whoever was speaking was so close I could feel their warm breath in my ear. I did not react. I tried my hardest to pretend to be asleep, to hope whoever this was would just leave me alone. After a few minutes, I could no longer feel the breath in my ear, but I still did not move. I didn't want to, until I saw the sunrise. I have never been happier than when I saw that first ray of light the next morning. I jumped out of bed, got dressed, grabbed my car keys, and shot out to the front door. Having just enough time to look at the now empty table, which once had a lamp. I drove to my closest friend's house and told him what had happened. He assured me I could stay with him for a few nights and called the police for me while I sipped some coffee. The police questioned me as you'd expect, and I gave them my house keys so they could search it to see if they could find any evidence. They came back that afternoon to return my keys and told me that they found no sign that anyone was still in my house. Unconvinced, or maybe just nervous, I stayed at my friend's house for the rest of the week, finally returning home on Sunday. My friend offered to stay with me, but I assured him it wouldn't be a problem. I did cautiously check the house again though. Once I was finally confident, I crawled into bed and closed my eyes to drift into what I had hoped to be my first pleasant sleep in this week. Suddenly, I felt a sharp pain in my side. I reached down to see what was wrong and found my hands covered in blood.
I guess you were awake.
The voice whispered.